We've got a great group with us today. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. We've got a lot to celebrate today. And what we do with Friday's Heroes is every Friday at 2 o'clock, we have a celebration of our public safety officers, and we also have a celebration of the great city employees that we have. Today, we also have an ESA award, which is an Efficiency, Stewardship, and Accountability Award, and I'll explain that in just a little bit. And we also have some young folks in our community that have done some very special things that we're going to recognize today as well. So let's start off today with Friday's Hero. Today's Friday's Hero is Albuquerque Police Department officers for their role in finding a developmentally disabled young man. This week's Friday's Heroes are officers Chad Wilder and Michael Benavides and Officer Yvonne Martinez. Yvonne is with us here today. Unfortunately, Officers Wilder and Benavides were unable to make it today, but we still would like to recognize them and tell their story and tell them how much we appreciate them. Earlier this year, Officer Benavides and Wilder responded to a missing person call. Officer Benavides arrived to the home and first met with the mother of a missing young man. The mother informed the officer that her child had Down syndrome and could only say his first name. She also told officer that her son rode his bike every day and that he only knew how to get to and from a very small handful of locations in the city. With this knowledge, Officer Wilder began searching the surrounding area, while Officer Benavides put out an attempt to locate the individual over the APD radio system. Officer Martinez immediately joined the search and began patrolling the area for the young man. She thought she saw some movement in an unimproved arroyo and exited her patrol car to check out the area. She walked to the bottom of the arroyo and found the young man lying at the bottom with his bike. She helped him out of the arroyo and contacted rescue personnel. As you can imagine, this was an extremely unnerving situation for any parent, and in this case, it was compounded by the fact that this young man had some disabilities. As a parent, I can tell you, I've got a son who's 15. That when something happens to your child, or if you're concerned about something happening to your child, that is not a good feeling, and certainly not one that we want our community to have. These officers didn't just find the boy; they responded just how a parent would want them to, with attention to detail, with attentiveness, and with a sense of urgency. And moments after the boy was found in the arroyo, Officer Benavides reunited the concerned mother with her son. So Chief Schultz is here today to tell us a little bit more about the situation and some of the extraordinary actions that these officers come forth with every day. Chief?
Well, thank you, Mayor, and we're very fortunate. We've got a great team of men and women who work for the Albuquerque Police Department who take every call, treat it very, very seriously. In this particular event, this young man had actually gone quite a larger distance away from his house than he normally did. And Officer Martinez began using her skills, looking for him, specifically looking in the arroyo. And the fact that he was riding across the top of this arroyo when he lost footing on the bike went down into the bottom of the arroyo where he was disoriented, injured, and didn't have the ability to safely get himself out of the arroyo. So luckily, Officer Martinez just saw something that caught the corner of her eye, realized it needed a little bit further investigating, and went down to the bottom of the arroyo where she found the young man. We've been very fortunate with Silver Alert and some of the other programs we put together to take care of those people in the community that are very vulnerable. And this is just a great example of some great police work and teamwork that had a good result. So we want to thank Officer Martinez for doing a job well done.
Thank you.
So we have a Friday's Heroes coin that we developed specifically for this, and it's got our emergency responders on it. So Officer Martinez, please accept this from a grateful mayor and a grateful community. And here are 2 other coins that I'll send with you, and please extend our congratulations and our gratitude to all the officers involved. And we've got great men and women that go out every day in the Albuquerque Police Department to keep us safe. They risk their lives, and it's always. There's always a story out there to tell, and today's just another great example. So thank you so much. We appreciate you. Bobby, why don't you come on up? Let's do our employee of the week here, and Bobby Cisneros is our employee of the week, and I know I saw him out there, and Jill is with him as well. Jill Holbert is our director of solid waste. And she'll be here with us as well. Bobby Cisneros, who's here with us today, works as a special projects coordinator and the public information officer for the solid waste department. And this week, he's our employee of the week. He's being recognized for organizing an event aimed at helping out the less fortunate students at APS. Mr. Cisneros is in coordination with the Keep Albuquerque Beautiful program, orchestrated an event that he called Recyclos, which was put on by the Keep Albuquerque Beautiful folks. It was his job to organize with various groups and to plan the overall logistics of the Recyclos event. The goal of the event was to provide clothes to the nearly 3,000 APS students and their families that needed basic necessities such as clothing. People were able to drop off the clothes to the clothing bank, and it was certainly hard work. It was certainly something that was above and beyond your call of duty, but it allowed the drive to become a reality, but not just a reality, but a great success. Today I have Jill Holbert with me, is here to tell us a little bit more about the great actions from Mr. Gallegos and it says Gallegos, but I don't know, it's Cisneros, I don't know. But I know that there were several people that worked with you on this campaign.
Yes.
And this caught the eye of the First Lady. Maria, my wife, really works a lot with the clothing bank with APS. And she came home one day and she said, "Do you know what you guys are doing?" And I said, what are we doing? And she says, "There's this great event called Recyclos." And I got to looking into it more, and it turned out that it was Bobby and his group. And this is an example of city employees helping out students at APS. So Jill, why don't you tell us a little bit more about it?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. I'm not surprised at all that Bobby was selected as the Employee of the Week, because his creativity is just incredible. He has been with our department, I think, a year now. And, you know, we do recycling, we do trash, we do litter collection, and that's Bobby's job, is to focus on that and get the word out. And, you know, I'm talking recycling, and Bobby's thinking, let's recycle clothes, which I just think is awesome, because he brings that kind of creativity to his job. So I just want to thank Bobby for all his hard work, and I'm excited to see what he comes up with in the future.
Thanks, Bobby. So we have, I'm sorry, Jill. We have Friday's here, or an Employee of the Week mug that we give to our Employees of the Week. We also have a certificate, and we also have a letter for your personnel file. But I could tell you, I had a group of fourth graders in here about an hour ago. And it's funny, the questions that fourth graders ask, and the first graders and fifth graders when they come to the mayor's office ask. But one of the things I always try to communicate to them is that I always ask them, how many employees do you think we have? So today I got answers like 7. I got answers like 100 million. But the students are always surprised when I tell them we have 6,000 plus employees at the city of Albuquerque. We have public safety employees, we have employees at solid waste, parks and recreation, cultural services, just, you know, finance, accounting, you name it. We run a large organization here. We're about $1 billion organization each year when you take all the enterprise events, enterprise funds together. But I tell the students we have great employees, and great organizations are made up with individual employees who are great themselves. And Bobby, you're just a great example of that. You have a lot of passion for your job, and you're always out there trying to push the needle or move the needle in a positive direction. So once again, give our best to everybody back at Solid Waste, and we appreciate you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. So let's do the ESA here. Let's bring the ESA folks up here, and I'll explain what that is in just a minute. I know we've got some folks here that have done some great work for us here. Is everybody here? Lou, you coming up?
Yes, sir.
All right. Come on up here, just anywhere is fine. Hey, Jacques. Hey, everybody. Wow. These are all folks from our finance department, and they do great work. Not only do they put together the budget, Jerry Romero is our budget director, Lou Hoffman's our director of finance and administration, but they've got a great team. So it's a great budget team. This team has really worked hard over the first 3 budgets. Our 3rd budget, as my time as mayor, is now down at the city council. And a lot of these folks here are instrumental in putting these great budgets together. We're in the best shape we've been in 7 years as a city. A lot of that has to do with the work that these individuals do. But today we're going to do an ESA award. And let me remind everybody about what ESA is. ESA stands for Efficiency, Stewardship, and Accountability. It's a program that we started almost at the beginning of the administration. It was designed to do several things. First of all, make sure that we're being as efficient as we can be with taxpayer dollars, making sure that if there's waste or abuse going on, that we're catching that. and make sure that we're being innovators. And as you talk to people around the country right now, innovation is a key word. And it's a key word for a reason, because our resources are strapped. If you look around cities around the country, there's always more need than our resources, but it's been really exacerbated through this through the economy that we've gone through in the last couple of years. So ESA is designed to incentivize employees to go out and do things that create efficiencies, and then to reward them when they do. And today's a great example of that. There's a lot of people here, but I'm just going to mention a couple of names today. Jane Aranda and Kelly Gold are the most recent recipients of the City of Albuquerque's Efficiency, Stewardship, and Accountability Award. They're receiving this award for saving the City of Albuquerque money and time in their budgeting process. Aranda and Kelly were in charge of the implementation of the new Hyperion system, and I'm going to explain that to you in just a minute. It's a PS/PB budgeting system, and I don't even know what that means. But I know what Hyperion is, and I know what budgeting systems are. I don't know what your acronyms are here for, but this is a tremendous project that it took them and their team 7 months to fully implement, and that's an impressive feat for anyone. The City of Albuquerque was the first entity to fully implement the Hyperion system, I think, in the nation. Is that correct, Lou? And many others are now reaching out to our city because of the expertise that these individuals have shown. Ms. Gold was even the main presenter of the implementation process at the Higher Education Users Group Alliance Conference in Tennessee recently. The new system allows workers to only enter data once instead of multiple times. It's cut down the time it takes on producing the proposed budget from 2 to 3 weeks to now only a few days. It's expected that this project alone will save the City of Albuquerque taxpayers $454,000 in mainframe maintenance, and has already saved $38,000 just in labor time alone. And that is a tremendous savings to the taxpayer. You guys are doing a great job of leading the nation in best practices for accounting for this Hyperion project. Lou, you want to say anything at all?
Yes, I would.
I want to have Lou Hoffman come up and say just a couple of words, and then I'll tell you about the incentives that we have in place. Come on up, Lou.
Thank you. Mayor, I'd like to tell you and our guests that among the best practices that I think were also implemented here was the teamwork that you've seen in this team. This was a citywide effort. It wasn't a budgeting effort. It wasn't an ERP effort. This project was done with the support of Pam White and the airport. They actually funded the project. We had other user groups like the Water Authority, people throughout the city working with this project through the whole 7 months as a team, putting this together to make sure it worked for everybody, making sure that the users were on board, and that at the end of the road they weren't saying, what have we got here and I can't use it. So this terrific collaborative effort, the kind of teamwork you've been trying to promote, the kind of innovation you've been trying to promote, and I'm pleased that we're able to come here today and show off and recognize some of the folks who are leaders in this process.
Well, we have a simple sounding goal, and that is to provide great services to the citizens of Albuquerque at a very good value. But the work that it takes to get there is tremendous, and I know everybody here works extremely hard. And the fact that this group saved $454,000 on the mainframe alone is amazing. ESA is an award system, so we have a check for the group. What we do with ESA is we'll give a 1% return to our groups up to a 1%. So you guys have earned the maximum award that we have under ESA, which is $1,000 for you to now to take back into your group, use as you see fit, to make yourselves even more efficient, or simply get together and talk about issues and continue to be more innovative. So I'll give you the big check, Lou.
Okay.
Please thank everybody, and I'll sign it in. And I'm supposed to sign this, so put this over here. Yeah, take this down to the ATM. Hold that up there, Lou.
And then, if you don't mind, I think Jerry and Chris have just a couple of words they'd like to say about their own folks.
You bet. Come on up, Jerry, and we'll get that going. Jerry Romero is our budget director here at the city.
I just want to say a few words. Jane on our group took the lead, put in a lot of overtime, and really kept us on track, and we just appreciate her. Kelly sort of took us home in that home stretch, a lot of testing and validation, and if any of you implemented software, that's a very difficult process. So those two really stand out, although it was a team effort, like Lou said. So thank you both.
You bet. Thanks, Jerry.
Hi, I'm Chris Daniel. I'm the manager of the ERP program here at the city.
ERP means.
ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. And what it is our backbone finance and human resources system here. This successful Oracle Hyperion public sector planning and budgeting, which is what PSPB stands for, system implementation, serves as a great model for our impending ERP strategic remediation and deployment roadmap. The ERP program was established in 2010, shortly after Mayor Berry took office, to drive through technology, people, and process a more effective and efficient government that the citizens of Albuquerque expect from its municipal government. First, I want to thank Mayor Berry, Mr. Perry, Mr. Soliday, Lou Hoffman, and all the department directors for their sponsorship of this initiative. Also, a special thank you to Jim Hind, Aviation Director, and his department for their sponsorship. Finally, thank you to the project team, the OMB staff, other participating end users, and the entire ERP program staff for their diligent efforts in making this implementation a success. I want to briefly recognize 3 individuals from our program who were instrumental in the fulfillment of this initiative. All 3 of them were new hires to the city upon commencement of this project, and they brought their strong ERP experience to bear. Vince Quijano, to my right, served as project manager, ensuring that our systems integrator and the project team produced all contracted deliverables in a timely and quality manner. Kelly Gold, who was introduced to you earlier, worked with the team to translate functional requirements to technical developers, and she oversaw the critical end-user testing process. And finally, Kent Schley, in the blue shirt, served as primary city developer, employing his deep Hyperion knowledge to configure the application for the specialized needs of the OMB staff. So on behalf of the city, I wanted to also congratulate the 3 of you of my staff for your exemplary performance. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. A lot of this is inside baseball. This is stuff that your average citizen, when they look at the city, they see things on the outside, but they don't always see the internal workings of an organization. And one of the things that we've really tried to do is really build up the internal departments of the city, because it's a large organization and it takes internal services to get things done. But I think the takeaway for the taxpayers is think about when you're at home and your computer crashes and you can't get your files open, and how complicated that seems at the time. I know sometimes for me I get frustrated just trying to get that done. Take that times about $9 million worth of things that these guys do every year at such a high level. It really makes a difference. But we're walking away, the taxpayers are walking today, these guys are walking away today with a $1,000 reward, and the taxpayers are walking away today with $454,000 in their pocket. And that's good news, and that's good services, and that's good stewardship. So thank you, everybody. We appreciate you very much. And we've got one more today. We've got a whole bunch of good news today, so this is great. Jacques, good to see you. Good to see you. Let's bring up our ROTC folks now. We'll come on up here and we'll. Let's kind of fill in. Enjoy those hot lights for a minute. So today we've got some young folks in our community that are really making a difference, and they're our good Samaritans today, and I want to tell you their story. They're members of the Del Norte High School Air Force Junior ROTC, and we're honoring them today for their role in helping some of their alien members off the trail. These good Samaritans are cadets with us today, and I'm going to, hopefully I don't get all your names close to right. Thomas Hogue. Thomas here? Raise your hand, Thomas. Kevin Patterson Schiff. Ryan Mead. Jordan Wheatley. Jessica Brannon. Colton Migetto. Now here we go. Jonathan Zlokin. Say it. Zlokin. And Avery Keene. And I don't know if I hope I didn't miss anyone. Was that? John Sanchez. There you go. Early this school year, this group went on their annual La Luz trail hike. And I don't know if you've ever hiked La Luz, but it's a chore in itself. It's a beautiful hike. This has become a yearly event for the members of Del Norte High School Air Force Junior ROTC, and something that they look forward to each and every year. On the last leg of the trail, one of the chaperones became injured and extremely ill. And while trying to assist the chaperone, a cadet actually fell ill as well. So immediately the cadets initiated their first aid care that they've been trained on to the adult and their fellow cadet under the direction of an experienced EMT via radio communications. The cadets escorted the adults off the trail and then took them to where the EMTs were waiting. These brave and heroic actions should be rewarded for working together to make sure that everybody was made it out safely. And because you guys really went the extra step, not only are you doing great things through ROTC and through your ROTC leadership, and you are certainly leaders, the next generation of leaders in our country, but you did well under pressure, and you did the right things, and somebody's better off for today. So I have a proclamation that I would like to read for you guys today, and send you with a proclamation, and it reads as follows. Whereas on October 22nd, 2011, the cadets from Del Norte High School Air Force JROTC, their instructors and chaperones, were engaged in their 12th annual La Luz Trail hike. And whereas during the last portion of a very successful hike, a chaperone traveling with a third group of cadets injured his leg and was in need of medical care and extraction. At the same time, another cadet became ill and needed care. Whereas the cadets, recognizing that both of the injured individuals needed transportation to reach the trailhead, contacted New Mexico Search and Rescue for support. And whereas these 9 cadets with little or no training in search and rescue techniques and procedures demonstrated professionalism, diligence, and teamwork as they cared for the injured while waiting for search and rescue. And whereas this ability to remain together during a traumatic experience shows the true meaning of esprit de corps, of teamwork, and of the time-honored tradition of leave no one behind. And whereas without their actions it is very possible that one of the patients may not have survived, and based on their actions the cadets were awarded the Air Force JROTC Silver Medal of Valor. Now therefore I, Richard J. Berry, Mayor of the City of Albuquerque, do hereby proclaim May 11th, 2012 as recognition of Del Norte's JROTC Day. So congratulations. 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 Good job.